We got McKee back here on the program. He's going to be taking on John Texieria at Bellator 205 on September 21st. What's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm chilling. How you doing, man? I'm just getting ready to go get in the gym and keep grinding.
Yeah, man.
Get that belt.
I always appreciate you taking the time, especially in the morning before the workouts and everything like that. But before we talk about you, we got to talk about a guy that I know you've been talking about a lot, and James Gallagher. Of course, he suffers his first loss. Just your reaction to the fight. I don't know if you watched it live. What was your reaction when he lost to Ricky Banderas?
Man, dude, my phone wouldn't stop blowing up. It got to the point to where between my phone and my Instagram going crazy, I had to block the dude. It's irrelevant to me at this point now, you know. Hey, I have nothing to say. The proof is in the pudding. If you're gonna keep that O on that record, you got to be willing to put in that work and know and be prepared at all times. You know, when you step in that cage, we don't just have punches to worry about. We have elbows, kicks, submissions. So there's a lot to worry about in there, and you got to go in there with your A game at all times.
Did you watch the fight live or did you see it after?
I actually saw it. I saw it after.
And were you surprised by the result? Because some people felt like Ricky should have been the favorite in the fight, and maybe Gallagher was overlooking him.
Definitely. I mean, that's a dude. That's a man that's got kids at home, and he's got to put food on that table. You know, you can see it in his eyes. He was ready, he was hungry, and he was prepared. Gallagher's he's a little shit talker. You know, it's about time he got his mouth shut up. I just wish I could have been the one to do it.
Did you see like all the pre-trash talk that he did? Like he got in Banderas' face before the fight started. Did you see all that? Just your reaction to that?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's just trying to be a little Connor so much, you know. But hey, at this point, you know, he's irrelevant. Brian Moore's irrelevant. Connor may be irrelevant for a little bit longer, you know. But hey, within the next year or two, man, McKee is going to be the most relevant MMA fighter there is, and that's just what it is, you know. I'm gonna stay undefeated, and I'm looking to take over the game, and that's the name of the game. You know, brand yourself so that everyone loves you. You know, it's a supply and a demand. You make the people happy, and they'll love you. And even if they don't love you, they're still gonna talk about you. So that's all that matters. And I'm looking forward to be that people's person that everyone loves.
Yeah, and you've certainly been on a roll, man. We got the 11-0 record, but it's the quality of opposition I look at, too. I mean, you're coming off a win right now over Justin Lawrence, a UFC veteran, a guy from Alliance, a lot of hype there, and you went out there and got that unanimous decision in that one. I know you would have liked the finish, but you must have been pretty happy taking out a UFC veteran like that.
Definitely, it was a good fight for me. Everyone still says, "Who have I fought? Who have I fought?" I mean, Justin Lawrence has fought some really good guys from Eddie Alvarez. Like he's got a really good record, and he's been in there with some of the best fighters that have been around. So I felt it was a great test for me to go in there and really put on a show. And once I noticed I couldn't get him out of there and finish him, I was just like, all right, let me just continue to do what I do and make sure I get out of here in one piece and not really take any damage. So it was a good fight just to see where I was at, and I thank Justin for taking a fight, man. He's a great fighter.
Yeah, and of course you're supposed to fight Pat Kern on this card. That fight gets scrapped. Now you're fighting John Texieria. Was there much of an adjustment in training just with the new opponent?
No, I don't do anything different.
Yeah, you're more focused on what you can bring to the table, right?
Exactly. I feel if you're worried about what your opponent's doing, you're already losing. You know. So for me, I'm focused on me. I'm gonna focus on what I'm gonna go in there and do. Because if I'm focused on what I'm gonna do, then he's focused on what I'm gonna do. So that already puts me 2 steps ahead. Is the second I get in there. So once I get in there, man, we'll see how things go. And I'm looking to go out there and get back to the old AJ. You know, throw some spinning heel kicks, some wild crazy stuff. So. We'll see how things go real briefly here, and it'll be nice.
Let's talk about John Texieria, 21-3-2 record. Fought some tough guys himself. How do you feel like you match up against him?
I feel my style is a horrible matchup for him, just along with anybody else in the division. If you're in that division, it's go time. You know, everyone's coming up and hopping into my weight class. This is my weight class. Talking about they want belts. I'm here and I'm here now. I'm holding records, breaking records. If anybody wants any belts, they got to get past me. I don't care who they're fighting. No one's getting a title shot after Welch besides me, and that's what it is. You got the Wolf, you got Pitbull, you got all these dogs out here. I mean, hey, the mercenary. I'm the mercenary, and I'm ready to take any dog to the leash in the kennel. It doesn't matter who it is or where it is.
Training camp, I imagine, primarily the same. Training with the guys at the body shop and everything.
Yeah, Pico, Baby Slice, Joey Davis picked up YL. We got a YL. Hey, Dad, who'd YL fight? He's ex UFC as well.
Yeah, Whale Watson. Yeah, I know him.
YL Watson, yeah,
He's
he
good,
fought
man. He's
TJ
really good.
Dillashaw. Yeah, he fought TJ Dillashaw and went distance with him. So he's at 35s and he's a bigger version of me. So it's gonna be nice to get him in there, and we're getting him nice and tuned up. We're honestly putting a nice team together, man. And the difference between our team is it's not just a team; it's like a family.
I know Aaron Pico has done some cross training as well. Do you do that at all? Because I know he goes and trains with those guys like Juan Archuleta and TJ Dillashaw and guys like that.
Nah, there's no need for me to do that.
Okay, fair enough.
I got all I need.
Yeah, and speaking of Aaron, I mean, obviously you guys are in the same weight class. Is that something you guys have talked about? Because I'm sure both of you are going to be fighting for a title soon, and there could be a conflict there.
Not really. If y'all they ain't talking 100 mil, then I'm pretty sure they're not gonna want to talk 100 mil. So even with 100 mil, man, I've known Pico since I was 4 or 5 years old. That's a lot. It's like asking me to go in there and fight with one of my brothers. So if they want that fight to happen, they're gonna have to come with a stupid amount that I'm pretty sure they're not gonna want to do, because there's no MMA fighter getting paid that. But for us, man, we've got a plan. Pico's young, he's hungry. I've never met anyone that works as hard as Pico. He's probably one of the hardest workers I know. So I plan on getting that 45-pound belt. Like I was saying, man, I'm tired of waiting on everybody else in the division. Nobody's keeping that belt solid. Nobody's keeping it polished. So it's time for it to come home with Papa AJ and keep it nice and spit polished and toothbrush in it. So I'm just waiting, man. I'm waiting, ready to go. And I'm ready to get a couple titles, and that 45-pound division is the first step. And then I'll hand the belt off to Pico. He's going to be ready within the next year. And I'm going to be more than ready to move on from the 145-pound division within the next year. I honestly feel within 3-4 fights, I should be gone from the 45-pound division working on my 55-pound.
Yeah, and on that note, how is the weight cut going? Because I know as you get a little bit older, the cut can get a little bit tougher. But you're still a pretty young guy. I mean, that metabolism's probably kicking in pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, there's a difference. My dad would always tell me I kind of struggle with weight cut a little bit, but the more that I'm starting to do things right, my weight cuts are getting easier. So it's staying ready, and then you don't have to get ready. So that makes a big difference. And I feel just being older and getting wisdom and just being around the game and learning a lot more, there's a lot of things you can teach younger guys and kind of just help them out and be their support when guys don't have that support, So I'm learning a lot from my dad, from my teammates, from everyone. And that's just the whole thing about growth, Wherever you're at in any aspect of life, you want to have growth and you want to grow. So that's the name of the game.
How's this fight playing out on September 21st?
Oh, we got to get back to those first round KOs, man. I need some more first round knockouts. I wonder who's got the most wins in the first round. I think I'm gonna go for that record next. So that's how I want it. I'd say 3 minutes into the first.
You talked about the ramifications of this fight. Do you feel like you will get the next title shot, the winner of Freite and Sanchez next? Do you feel like that's going to happen, or do you think they'll give it to Caldwell with his big win over Noad Lahat?
Who's Noad? Who's Noad?
Oh, he's a UFC veteran. He fought a few times there. He fought.
I don't care. I don't care who I fight. I was supposed to fight Sanchez. Like I said, I signed that dotted line. I come to fight. I don't care what the case is. I take fights with broke hands. I don't care. If I sign that dotted line, I'm coming to fight. So I really don't care who they put in front of me. My goal is Pitbull. I ain't calling nobody out besides Pitbull. I said I got that leash in that kennel waiting for you, buddy. When you want to go to the pound, I'm ready to take him. I feel like this is a rerun of Gallagher situation. They send Brian Moore to do Gallagher's job. Now they're sending Texieria from Brazil to do Pitbull's job. It's not going to work. These guys need to quit being scared, quit running, Let's do the business, man. Let's talk. I'm a pretty nice guy. We can be cool. We can talk, I'm a classic, man. But hey, when we step in that cage, it's going to be some ass whooping.
going to be a great fight, man. September 21st, Bellator 205. AJ, it's always good talking to you, man. I always appreciate you taking the time. Just remind people where they can find you on social media. And if you have any sponsors or shout outs, the floor is yours, man.
All my social media is AJ McKee 101. First of all, I got to give a shout out to the man upstairs. You know, none of this would be possible without him. My sponsors. Oh, there's my timer for practice.
Don't want you to be late. Don't want you to be late.
Yeah. So my sponsors, TC1, Affliction, Importado Pros, Skunk 2. Who am I missing, Dad? Lexani. Any other future sponsors out there? Elena Egg Whites. Who'd you say? Bad Boy, Dr. Doshman. Who else? I got a banner right here. And my gangster ass dad, he says, because he keeps it gangster, man.